Arctic ice is in a death spiral. How much longer will it exist? Titles like these give me pause as a paleoclimatologist and makes me giggle. 28 trillion tons of ice have melted since 1994, on track with worst-case scenarios. Here's the problem with these titles. There have been 28 trillion tons of ice that have melted since 1994, but there have also been 28 trillion tons of ice that have been refrozen every winter. Hello, reality. California snowstorm, stalled atmospheric river on steroids, delivers 4 feet of snow in 24 hours, approaching some of the highest snow deposition records ever in history. We come over to the UAH satellite-based temperature of the global lower atmosphere, version 6.0, thanks to Roy Spencer and the University of Alabama, Huntsville. And we could see the largest temperature drop in years in December. Yeah, just 0.27 degrees above the 40-year average. Yeah, we're burning up. And total snow mass for the northern hemisphere has been above the 40-year average for the last 4 weeks. Apparently, there's no more snow. Sea ice thickness, the largest extent in decades, coupled with the largest sea ice volume in the last decade, leads you pause to any of this data. And here we are in Antarctica, where we are approaching the multi-decadal average for the last 40 years, which include, and we are now in the top five ever recorded sea ice extents in Antarctica. Let's go to Greenland. They've been gaining ice by 1 up to 10 gigatons of ice per day since the beginning of the ice gain, and they haven't stopped. So what's going on? Well, if you look here at Antarctica, you can see since the mid-1990s that Antarctica has been at the highest daily sea ice extent ever in recorded history, and we're about to go back into that range. If you look at the total snow mass for the northern hemisphere, excluding the mountains, we are above the multi-decadal average. The Arctic sea ice extent is epic, and it's similar to the 1970s. And if you understand what happens in Antarctica, you'll understand that the mainstream media is full of Shartica. Yes. We are experiencing record snows, record ice worldwide, while record global temperatures drop, and the mainstream media is still feeding you nonsense. It's not only nonsense, it's beyond that, because they don't actually tell you what the title means. 28 trillion tons of ice have melted, yeah, but 32 trillion tons of ice have formed. That means we're winning. And the Arctic is in a death spiral for 4 decades, according to the media. Yet, the data does not show that. Sudden stratospheric warming causes extreme cooling in the lower latitudes, while the Arctic maintains its ice cover. I don't know if I showed you, but yeah. There it is. Arctic sea ice volume still has 1, 2, 3 months to grow, and it is exponentially moving upward. It's my opinion that by the 1st of May, we will be above the multi-decadal average. Mark my words. And Antarctica, well, let me first give you a little caveat. All these new measurements are coming from space, from satellites. And the 2 papers coming out over the last 2 years have shown that the satellites have been off by up to half a meter. So the data sets we're getting are thinning the ice shelves themselves. It's not you, it's not CO2, it's the mainstream and the sun that controls the climate. I hope you got something out of the video. I'm sick of the fairy tales. I'm sick of the salacious titles that don't mean anything. On track for worst case scenarios. Yeah, like the IPCC, none of which has ever come true. Like Al Gore's prediction that the Arctic would be ice-free in 2013. I don't think so. Largest ice extent in decades. extent. That means how far it goes out in both directions. There's ice from the tip of Alaska all the way covering the Arctic Ocean and Scandinavia. And it's building for 3 more months. Those are facts. The rest of the mainstream media is smoking cracks. I don't see a single data set that says we're going down anywhere. Normal climate variability coupled with solar minimum, waning magnetosphere, and the approach, well, to this line being way outside the blue line is coming soon to a planet near you. Be safe. We love you. Thanks to all our one-time donors. Thanks to all the people that share these videos. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance in a world of disinformation. Click on one of the other boxes to gain more knowledge as we tippy-toe into the dystopian future. Well, that is Orwell's 1984. Al Gore's a whore. We love you. Be safe. Do not buy plant-based meat, ever. Side note.